Vale. Vale. Caballetos. Nabgia kupskokie. Ani teniba. Mo kasta bagi mo to meto.
Teniba.
Lare.
Sashi
Bagi joji meto tamre radin jini de gembade sange jindu mete bagi dogu namda jingla chapa sho. Kororana vendala kaniyataya mi.
Sange.
Chedan soge chanam janju Bagi jingi kanangi chola penche sangi parasho.
Sange.
Chedan soge chanam janju padu dani gyazaji. Bagi jingi kanangi chola penche sangi parasho. Chedan soge chanam janju padu dani gyazaji. Bagi jingi kanangi Tola penje sange tovarashu. No. You should be on page 157. The first, I've got written down here, the first sentence of the Chandrakirti commentary on the stanzas. Yeah, we did that line. First line. Warmboard down Juden's. Yeah, that's where we are.
That Kadi Dinam Rangam to Pakinani is a number Jevana, she several Jedarne, Rangam, Miban, Naindi, each ranking tong she chop. Trouble, she several songs. That is. Kati dinam ranshingi yeba sola soba teta ranshingi yeba yunan ni diite todu jibe ranshingi tumatu jiba diite diitebe number jeba na diitebe riba tedu sita ranshingi yume shebe riba jerba odi tebe number jeba na 제주 좀 같이 세워라. 제대로 내봐. 나는 뭐니 버리구나. 다 라시기 두나 아니 라시 두마 두지 버리 버티기. 아니 제바나. 아니 라시기 두바티 상무 두바티. 두바니 두미 버리구나. 미쿠브리. 세월 제바나 체 세월 Jedarne Rangu Yavani Impertuna Rashig to but Nepugris. Tomato Jay in the Zamba Jabetala Rashig to the Tubati Mipugri and it is Mipaya Maris. Just not Rashig to Maris.
So here we're looking at the next part of this passage from Chandrakirti, where it says, if they essentially existed, in other words, if they did exist by their own nature, if they did exist naturally, then under analysis by reason, so this kind of reasoning that we've been talking about, their status as essentially existent would be seen even more clearly. So if they exist by nature, then when you analyze in this way, you should be able to see it. But it's not seen, therefore that shows that they actually don't exist by their, well, that's a good idea, by their own nature.
Dati Sudala Soba, Kunduba Dinam, Yutu Chujan, the Konanila Jube, Jobam, Rashi Yume Jube, Ribe, Demi Jube, the Dala Ribe, Tam Tapan Minjuko, she Lubin, Dijang, Saurasun, Jasan Sudala Soba to so. Ne Kunduba Sudala Soba to Kunduba Chirba, Ane Kunduba. Denham, you to Chujan, Yaris. You know, Decona, you repair, and she immediately. Tam is to be 10 me to be stuck. And Kundum the Yari, Sudala Subatita Yari, Decona, you repair, and she may repair 10 me to be. And she you may share the Tala. Ani ripete mitube, rishiti mitube. Kedala ripe taba mijugozi. Sadujiberi shibit. Jen suberis taba mijugos. She levendi ane and sumshi. Ripe jene ripati manibana. Kundu bateta jibala. Kundu jobala, Mikeba, Mantus Mantusungainus, the Ribe Chene, Ribati Manibana, Kundu Jibala, Kundu Jobala, Mikeba, Kundu Jidun, Shamatuni. Ani Kundu Jobala, Mikebas, Jibala, Jeter Meba, Jeter Mineba, the Vedan, Kundu the Jatu, Jometubari, Keba, the Bejeni, the Jeter Mindu, Meva Insan, Kundu, take me to Seati, Tasigierba, Jesan, Ralula, Jibala, Kundu Jobala, Mikeba, Mountusunga Yenus, the Jetar Many Batella, and Kundu Jitua, Kundu Jomi Shivati, Mikeba Mountain Sunga Namus, that the Jetar Manyam. Any Jetar never Yasaneta Tiny to you. Tell me to somebody. Mikeba Mountain Namus said, Mikeba. Mandu Sumba Yeno, Katira Shingi, Yemi Chebe, Deta Gabar Nuna, Duda Suala Suba Kundu Dedala, Ribe Taba Shindu, Taba Shindu, Jokuba, Yina, Endelo Tate, Katira Shingi, Yemi Chebe, but the Deta Gabar Nuna, the Gabar Maris. She image the Bati Susola Super Tanya do you but the Gaji Marisi. That is Mikeba Dikaris and Taduji Shigi, Jebana, many but eats and a tattoo some gag couldn't take me to somebody. Mikeba Madunas. That year, Sam Zambala Subatusu. Taduji Shigi, Rashim Karasa, Rashituma Jiberi Shigi, Menina, Tameba, men to do somebody to and Rashigi man, Meg racing it, that Mambuyarva. audience satis make ba mandu na on seti da rangi ba meche di rangi ge mena me ku ba de ni rangi ba meche dirwa ti mandu ya ti da ti make ba re seti make ba mandu na on seti.
Then we carry on with the text. Chandakirti, anyway, this great master says, Chandakirti repeatedly allows that these conventionalities, such as forms and sounds, do exist. In other words, he says they do exist. These conventional phenomena, which form and so on, form, sounds and so on, those are conventional phenomena, right? So he says that they do exist. However, they are not in the least established by reasoning that analyzes reality, that is, analyzes whether they have intrinsic nature. So such an analysis wouldn't find them and doesn't establish that they are, they do exist by nature, intrinsically, and so on. Thus, the scrutiny of reason is not applied to them. Also, Chandakirti often says that it is those who are incompetent at positing conventionalities who claim that conventionalities are destroyed when upon rational analysis reason does not find them. He says there are many such scholars who would say that. So anyway, for the explanation. So we have form and so on, these various conventional phenomena. According to this master, they do exist, but when they're analyzed with the, this ultimate analysis would be the easiest way of putting it, the analysis into their reality or their, their ultimate way of being and so on. With such an analysis, when you analyze whether the form and so on exist by nature or not, such an analysis does not establish them. So what that means is that they cannot withstand an ultimate analysis. And this is, so this master says over and over again. So when somebody, concludes from that therefore these phenomena, these conventional phenomena are destroyed, you can't find them, so they don't exist, in other words. And in other words, that means they think that conventional phenomena cannot be posited, would not be, just wouldn't be viable. If you say that the ultimate analysis to see whether they exist by nature or not doesn't find them, that means that they just plain don't exist. So he says that such a way of positing things, or such an assertion is the way of asserting things by somebody who's not wise in positing conventional phenomena. That's what it says, doesn't it? Anyway, that's what it says in that chapter. Mm-hmm. So in other words, if that logic, analyzing whether the object exists by nature or not, it doesn't find such an object, but it doesn't refute them. So when you think that, because this logic cannot find them, therefore they themselves are not viable. So this would be, when he talks about, people who are not wise, there are many such people who are not wise in being able to posit conventional phenomena. He's referring to, for example, the Chittamatras, who would say that when you analyze whether the object exists by nature or not, if you don't find it, if you're going to say it's not found, then you have to say, well, in that case, it doesn't exist at all. In other words, if it doesn't exist by nature, so if it's not found, that means it doesn't exist. Because they believe that if it doesn't exist by nature, it doesn't exist at all. And in fact, it's not just Chittamatras. Actually, everybody, all of the Buddhist philosophical systems from the Swatantrika downwards, including the Swatantrikas, they would fall into this category.
Tatine, Kadiran Shi Yemi Jibe, Ribe, Dida Gabar Nuna, Suda Soala Sobe, Kunzuk Dedala, Ribe Taba Shindu, Jukubaina, Dendawa Lobungi, Tate, Ranshi Yemi Jibe, Ribe, Dida Gabar Nuna, Suda Sobe, Suda Soala Sobatus, Sudala Sobatusu. Ranshi Yumi Jibe Ribe Gabaran Sta Ranshi Yumi Jibe Ribe Suda Soala Sobatus Ganu Yamarva. The Ranshi Gutubati Kaparava. Jasan Suda Soala Soba Kundu Teta Ribe Tabashindu Juguba Ribe Tabashindu Juguba Ribe Tabaju Jubares, Yeme Kexuna, Nani, Gondobateta, Ribe Tabashindu Juguba Inaya, Dendawa Lovin di Shunde, Namba Tanja to Cabenas, Tanya Bala, Tendongeribe, Jabami Juicy. Tanya di Tanya Badi. Suda Tuala Suba Tanya Bati Kundu Chutita, Tadu Juberi Shigi, and Karasuri. Obanu Marisu, Takandi Ribe, never to Devani, Ribe, Nevati. Jay Mesuba turned Arashi Yumi Jay into Tamba, Rashigi Yumi Jay into Rashigi Drupati. Kapare Rashi Dubati, Gatuerva. In a Suso Chujin Dida, any teaching a ribe, Kapamaris. In Kapana Rashi, you may give a ribe, many ribe, never turned to Devani and the Cresa. Loving number Tamjet. Ribe Taba Shindu, Jukuba my Jukuba Inayam. Endawati loving Shunde, number Tanja to Cabenas, she make you the ribe. Mani be then ribe never don't do Devani Uma be Chile, Children Yamari. Rashi, you make you the ribe. Jamie Suna. Rashi, you make you the ribe. Never did. God is never take Maris. James, so between them, and she meet you there. Jeter Merva. Jeter Merva, only Merva Vessina. Never Vessina. Never Maris. Rashi meet you very buggy. So the swallow so but the Maris. Here Rashi could do but never. Rashi could do but the cabaret. Changing Sula Sobatusu, it's in a cover vesina, the cover maris. That did it. They may go baludi Rashi image of a ribe, mani that ribe never turned to Devani, Uma be Chile, Chamba in the Yeno, dishing to that. Uma be Chile. Uma be Chile, Chile Chambaris. Look, Uma be Uma Siadi. That Chile, Chile Chambaris. Uma Siadi, Daji Tani Jed, Ule never Chikuerva. That Tatu Chiberi Shigi, Kujobe Chenum Ghana, Tani Dum, Tat Chedaron to Yerva. Uma Pasiati, Rashi Tubaka, Tatatika, Tani di Nebadiaka, Rashi Major Tani di Yuba Joshim Bachkuerva, Uma Basit. Jesani, Tajik Tani, the Tawaj Kuberva. That and the Rashi driven image of everybody, Sudado Sobato Sutani to Kana, Chedalun Kuberva. Odinson, Uma Bech, Mani. Umabe Chile, Chejer, Chambain, Umaba, Tig Marija.
So, yeah, interesting. So then, if reasoning, so this is bottom third of page 107. If reasoning that analyzes whether they have intrinsic nature could refute them, then you would have to apply intense rational scrutiny to these conventionalities, that is, forms, feelings, and so forth. However, the text of this master completely refutes such efforts. Therefore, it is those who have wandered very far from the middle way who claim that something is invalidated when it is not found by reasoning that analyzes whether it has intrinsic nature or not. So that's where we got to. Yes, so this reasoning consciousness that has analyzed, checked whether form and so forth exist by nature or not, such such a reasoning cannot negate form and so on. All it negates is form existing, form etc. Existing by nature. And this master's texts state that conventional phenomena, form and so on, cannot withstand an ultimate analysis, but that doesn't mean to say that the ultimate analysis, that consciousness, negates, harms or negates the conventional phenomena such as form and so on. So the existence of the natural existence or existence of form by nature, that is negated. But form and so on, the object which you're checking to see whether it exists by its nature and so on, that's not negated. So so what we're saying then is that when you analyze, with an ultimate analysis, when you examine whether form and so on exist by nature or not, form cannot withstand such an analysis, but that doesn't harm form and so on. All it does is harm and negate the form existing by nature. And when it says towards the end of that paragraph, therefore it is those who have wandered very far from the middle way who claim that something is invalidated when it's not found. So when we talk about the middle way, this means abiding or existing in the middle, free of two extremes, doesn't it? So if you say that that form and so on themselves don't exist because they can't be found through such an analysis, through an ultimate analysis into whether they exist by nature or not, then that means that you've succumbed to the nihilist extreme. So middle way means in the middle, like existing, abiding in the middle, free of the two extremes of nihilism and eternalism. The permanent extreme or the eternalist extreme, that would be existing by its own nature. Then the nihilist extreme would be not even existing conventionally. So those are the two extremes that one needs to avoid. And in this case, taking such a position would mean falling to the nihilist extreme, which means thinking that the things, form, and so on don't even exist conventionally.
Dati, Numen Chule Chije Chabai. Deshindo, Pabe Nyamshagi Jang Susugi, Jenga Masiba Yingi, Jenga So Mebersiba Kalain, Sieta, Pabe Nyamshagi. Pabe Nyamshagi says, Tuni Musundu to be Shitigi, Pabe Nyamshagi Jang Susugi, Jenga Masiba Siba Marva, Masiba Re, Jenga So Mebersiba Maris. Di Masiba Tang, Di Mebersiba Kalaris, just a Pabe Nyamsha Shitigi, Sula Suba Deda, and Masiba Yingi, Deda Mebersiba Maris, each Ribe, Dena, partition to Pabe Nyamsha Jang, Susogi, Jenga Masiba Yingi, Di Jenga Mebersiba Kalains. That is Pabenyamsha Ishi Simula, Jenga Yamarva, Jenga Mebi Insan, Jenga Sigimarva, Masibari, Jenga di Mebasiba Maris.
Then the text goes on to say, similarly, the meditative equipoise of a noble being, so this is down the bottom of page 157, right? Noble being does not see the production and cessation of forms and so forth, but how could it see production and cessation and so forth as non-existent? So when we talk about the wisdom of the meditative equipoise of a noble being, so the Arya's wisdom of meditative equipoise, which means we're talking about a mind directly realizing emptiness, directly in the sense of like non-conceptually. So that mind, which has this bare non-conceptual realization of emptiness, doesn't of form and so on, doesn't see form and so forth. It doesn't see it doesn't see those phenomena, but it doesn't see that they don't exist. So there's a big distinction that we need to draw between these two: not seeing and seeing as non-existent. So the wisdom of meditative equipoise of the Arya doesn't see form and so on, but it doesn't see them, doesn't realize them as non-existent.
Huh?
I said that makes no sense, but
Rashi Yumi Jube, the big jumps, Jenga Suba Maniba Yingi, Jenga So Meber Java Meno, that is based in the Pin, Tandaka Yamsha Shiricho. Domani the Digital Yambashi Yamsha Shiti, similar Yumi Jibimba. That Rashi Yumi Jibe, the base at the Todu Jibe Riki, Dendile Dingy. Jajeba de Jerba. Di Shindu, Nyamshagi, Di Shindu, Chambaina, Mebasiba Kalani, Rashi Yemi Jube, Ribe Jang, Gengala Soba, Jawala Soba, Maniba Ingi, Genga. So, never Java means Rashi Jimmy today, you get Yamsha, she did Tomani teach to Yamashani, Yamsha. That day, what did Rashi Yim to the Tibetans? Nay, Jangala Soba Maniba India. Told you very she saying that Pena, you were cheated them with the dandy in the church, but deal at Denny. Rishi Java Cherba, Digi, Mani Kengala Suba, Kengala Suba, Maniba Ingi, Kenga so Meber Java Maris. That is the Ribati Jevetala, Kengala Suba Meber, Maniverva. 많이 벌어 많이 벌이지 경가수 아니 경가수 매번 제와 말했어 제와스는 또 봤어요 섀도 믹슨 든지 세반 제와스는 샤로아트 또 봤어요 어디지 신디 경가로서 매번 제와 말했어
Then also, so this is right down the bottom there, also reasoning that analyzes whether things have intrinsic nature does not find production and so forth, but it does not consider production, cessation and so forth to be non-existent. So what this is saying is, so we've been talking about the, the ultimate reasoning consciousness, the ultimate reasoning consciousness, which is one that uses ultimate logic, ultimate, signs in proof of this and that, not this and that, actually, in the proof of form and so on, not existing by nature. It uses certain kinds of forms of reasoning. So, for example, analyzing by saying that form as a subject doesn't exist by nature because it's a dependent arising. So such logic also does not find form. In other words, at the end of or the conclusion of such an analysis, form is not found. But it doesn't. But such an analysis doesn't realize that form and so on don't exist at all.
다 디체 리베 제메스 바데 리베 네바니 캬바초그리 실바이 다 리베 제메스 메스나 리베 네니바니부티 리베 제메스 바데 리베 네바니 아니 캬바초그리 실바이 다 만지 리베 제메스 바데 리베 네바니 캬바간데 초그레스나 수달로서 받다 다들 집에 리시기 제바나 제메스버리 제바 메스버리디 네버 말이시기 네버 말바 어다티니 캬바치고레스 다 가레 디게 가레를 네버레스는 다들 집에 리시 디게 가레를 네버레스네 수소라시 그 두바티 네버 아이 디카바레 디 메바시버바 다 그래 수달로서 받도수 수달로서 받디 레시 미치베리 받디기 아니 제메스버리디 네바 마리에시키 다 딩이리 캬바치고 그래서 직제
Here then we need to make a distinction between two things. On the one hand, not being able to withstand the ultimate analysis, which means the same as not being found by ultimate analysis, right? So on one hand that, on the other hand, being harmed by an ultimate analysis, which would mean being refuted by it, negated by it. So you need to make a distinction between those two. So form, for example, when it's analyzed with such an analysis, ultimate analysis, it doesn't withstand such an analysis, but it's not harmed by such an analysis. In other words, it's not refuted by such an analysis. What is harmed by such an analysis is form existing by nature. So that's harmed by such an analysis and it's refuted by such an analysis. And that realizes that form existing by its own nature doesn't exist. So form, on the other hand, can't withstand such an analysis, but is not harmed by it.
Yeah, that's the Karasure. Ribe James Silvatana, Ribe Novani, Kari Kagachiburicho, that Ribe James Silva, Yela, Ribe Nova Mainge Karisha.
James Silva Minabe.
리베 제메스바다 리베 네바니
Oh,
카가치부리
네.
세브라 다 리베 제메스바 인라 리베 메네바티 카리샤
okay, so we need to make the distinction between not being able to withstand analysis and being harmed, right? Harmed or not being harmed. So give me an example of something which cannot withstand analysis. You cannot withstand an ultimate analysis, but isn't harmed by an ultimate analysis. Tell me an example of something which fits those two.
Anything that exists.
Yeah, what doesn't fit that? Turn it around.
How about things that don't exist?
Okay.
Mozana ane yoje ganga dinala de dirawas. Ribis James obere ane ribi minabarwa. That's right. You are.
유제 가가 저도 주베리 베체메스버다야 리베 제메스버데티 타니 주베리 버기 예바도스 타니도 제스버바 타니 주베리 버기 시데나 바주 예메 주베리 버디기 바주 니주야르바 바주 예메 주베리 버디기 될때는 바주 니주야르바 알바 타니 주베리 나 분바 예메 주베리 버디기 분바 니주야르바 다디 타니 주베리 바라바 단지티 분바라 신기 투마투 주베 타투 주베리 버디임바 아 다데레 데네 나 예제로 리베 제메스버리베스나
Using on the James over the base.
아 다인다 저
Yes.
리베 제메스버인게 샤송아 치랑키 네 저한테 저도 주베 리베 제메스버인게 never mind get the show silverba atati chirangi yeche shaverba yeche di kare ribeche mesubara sigiyo ribeche mesuba inke never mind get the shavere ani no tadu chiberi beche mesubara mesuna never mind get the shavere kareres Sari beche mesubedele ribat nier ba tatu chiberi ba se chikorba tani chiberi ba ke ni tuyarba pumba jaga pumba yemeche indi pumba yevani tuyare pumba yemeche indi pumba yevare sigrba pumba yevare mebare che indi pumba yevare ni tuyarba Tatisan ribati ni yarba, ribati can di ribati, ribe gem society, gem sujan ribe menu seati, Toduji very bala cigarette, Taniji very bala cigarettes.
Well, so yeah, okay. So what you're saying is that, like everything which exists, you know, with regard to everything which exists, you can say it doesn't withstand an ultimate analysis, and it's not harmed by ultimate analysis. So actually, there are two kinds of analysis, aren't there? There's ultimate analysis and conventional analysis. So in the case of like a conventional analysis, like for example, if there's a cow in the room, then a conventional mind, a conventional analysis would be able to check to see whether there's a cow in the room or not, and would be able to find it, right? So that's rhetorical, right? You don't have to answer all the time. So when you say that nothing, you know, that all phenomena can't withstand analysis and also aren't harmed by analysis, are you talking about an ultimate analysis or a conventional analysis?
Ultimate.
타두저지기 리페 재밌어요.
Apena dame daba imi chebe ribati, Tiny very very. Damn it up in me jibber. Nay, Gumba met up in me jibber. Gumba you me jibber. Lende you me jibber. Mujosun you me jibber to Suri Patti. Tiny very butter. Digi need you ever. Damn it up met damn it at jibber deeds in it. Tatabatican. Damn it up to you ever. The need you ever. Metabati, Tamita, Tatamita, Jibe, Ripati, Yeturva, Tiny Jibe, Ripati, good to be need you ever. Metaba need you ever.
Like, for example, when we think about, like the reasoning which is checking whether sound is impermanent or not. Is sound impermanent or is it permanent? There is also the one, you can also verify or analyze whether a vase is impermanent or not, whether karma and its results exist or not, whether refuge exists or not. So those would all be conventional analysis. It would be a conventional analysis, and the conventional analysis would be able to find something at the end of its analysis, because sound is impermanent. So a conventional analysis would be able to find that sound is impermanent, that the vase is impermanent, that karma and its results exist, and so forth.
Yeah, that is. That Papa Yamsha Ishigi, Kenga Masibata, Meba Siba Nis Kagachiku, Papa Yamsha Ishigi, Kenga Masibari situation. Na Kenga Masibari de Meba Sia Marisigo. I think Geva Chebulota, Papa Yamsha Ishigi, Kenga Masibata, Kenga Meba Sibani, Chikugruva. Tapabenyam Shai Shiki Kenga Masibrete Kenga Meba Siyamari Isigoy.
Now, we were also saying what it says in this text, that you need to make a distinction between the wisdom of the wisdom of meditative equipoise of the Arya doesn't see the production and cessation of form and so on, but it doesn't see their non-existence, right? So we need to make that distinction, not seeing and then seeing as non-existent, right?
No, that is it. That Pabenyam Shai Shiki Kenga Masiba in the Karides, no?
So what is the way in which the wisdom of meditative equipoise of the Arya doesn't see the production of form and so on?
It doesn't see that they're inherently existent.
It's ultimately existent.
I didn't get this.
You go.
No, the same as you.
Yeah, we just said it in different ways, but it doesn't mean anything if you
One-
realized it. It just
Wait.
sounds like.
Somebody answer.
It doesn't
It's-
exist ultimately.
Yeah, it's
From
seeing
its
that
own
it doesn't
side.
exist inherently.
Yeah, it's just
But it doesn't see it at all, actually. It
No.
doesn't see
This
it
is what
actually.
Rinpoche said, is that the wisdom of meditative equipoise doesn't see form.
Mhm.
In what's the way in which it doesn't see form? That's what he was asking.
it's existing from its own side.
Yeah.
Huh?
It would not see it as existing from its own side.
Ko the kunzobi chudun so maziba karesna ne rangani tuba maziba res. Rangani tuba maziba res. Ranzingi tuba. It doesn't see them as existing by their nature, right? Long.
It doesn't see it.
Pabenyam Shai Shiki Kenga Singsuner and Shikuba Sigubes.
So if the wisdom of meditative equipoise of the Arya, which is directly realizing emptiness, right? If it saw the production of form and so on, would that mean that the production of form and so on would be inherently existent?
No.
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 Yes, it
No.
Mareza.
Mari.
Because if they
Oh,
see
if
it,
it's
yes,
saw,
then
if
it
it's
would
saw.
mean, yes.
Kose nese te chiri. Resena. So de sa papengam sha yishigi. Ngolu yena. Tambatu bubu yana. Jako yena tambatu bubu ba rashi tu bubu ba.
The thing is that if the production and cessation of form and so forth existed for the wisdom of meta-equipoise of the Arya, then it would have to be truly existent. Or did it?
Yeah.
Being or yona, then it ranjigi to bachai yoga.
Ane tingi mo yena. Ane ya tungi je rashi tu ba re.
So what about emptiness? Is emptiness inherently existent?
No.
There ranjigi to mares.
Marba. Duas.
Being or yona. But the wisdom of meta-equipoise of the Arya sees it. So it does exist for the wisdom of meta-equipoise of the Arya, doesn't it?
Well, they're seeing emptiness directly, right? They're having a direct realization of emptiness, so.
I think the point Rinpoche is trying to make is, you see, if the production of form existed for the wisdom of meta-equipoise, we said therefore it would have to be truly existent.
Yeah.
But it does see emptiness, so why wouldn't emptiness also have to be truly existent? That's what he's asking.
But is it because they're seeing it in dependence on the conventional object?
Kunzobechele teni de ziba insan, kyomindosa. Whatever that's supposed to mean.
So if they're seeing the emptiness, so if they're looking at a conventional object, the conventional object disappears, they no longer see that. They see the emptiness of that conventional object. So is that why they can see it?
Do you get what Rinpoche's
Yeah, right,
reasoning
I
is?
do.
We are saying that if form existed for that mind, it would have to be truly existent. Emptiness does exist for that mind, so wouldn't it also have to be truly
So
existent?
it's like a contradiction, but I don't understand.
What's in the contradiction?
What you're saying, but I don't understand.
No, what are the two things which are contradictory? You have to say them, because I'm not sure what you're
It's
saying is
contradictory to say that form would not exist for that mind, but that emptiness would. But I don't understand why form wouldn't exist for that mind. Because aren't you saying that the mind?
Dini gawa resido. Kunzobe chuzula soba kegala soba nando so dingor mes nyamshe dingor mes setan ani toni dingor yes seni gawa res. Yeah, so those two things are different, right?
So Gundobe Gangala Suba Yamsha Ishin, Yena, Yambatu Gugres, and you couldn't love it. This and a did badilla. Ani Tombani did Yambatu Varves, Yamsha Ishin, Dugas, and that take Karela Gas.
This is what I'm trying to ask you. You said that if forms, production, and so on existed for the wisdom of meta-equipoise of the Arya, it would have to be truly existent.
No.
And what I'm saying is that emptiness does exist for that mind, so wouldn't it be truly existent?
But
Yes.
why wouldn't form?
Yes, it would be.
Why wouldn't form? Why can't? So everything has the lack of existence from its own side, from the ultimate analysis, and then it has the valid cognition recognizing it. So why wouldn't form and emptiness be similar that way?
In what way? What do you mean?
But
Sorry.
they both
Both of them couldn't
lack
withstand.
ultimate analysis, but they have valid cognition. So what? I don't understand what the difference is between them.
Chijina chipatawa marves tomban pena zuruzobe and kunzobe chudozo dan di tengi toni chipatawa marves karsna nija and the repeat chemisoberes and nija the yoros just chipatawa chegdo.
Chivaraji, Yendani, Yamsha Ishi, Pave Yamsha Ishi, no, the Tombani Yambares.
Well, if you're saying that they're the same, then I have to ask the question, doesn't emptiness exist for the wisdom of meditative equipoise of the Arya?
I have no idea. I've never experienced it. It doesn't seem like it should.
I think-
Peji, 이해서 말해, 성인도.
It doesn't make sense that form wouldn't and emptiness would.
Did 과민도 Zuluzo bichudu mes dingor mes Tony dingor yosana Kinsawres Zuluzo dingor mena and Tony and the dingor mes tikumarves Chikumarves.
동이 냠샤 이식은 시야디 가르시 그래서.
Well, in that case, I want to ask this question. What does the wisdom of meditative equipoise of the Arya see?
Dependent arising aspect. Because an Arya being
Then that
can only see
Then
at the
does he
same
guess?
time.
아,
tendencies. You said you can see dependent arising.
Right, because only,
But then dependent arising is a conventional phenomenon.
this is true.
So,
But doesn't it have to see
Abhishek,
that too?
does the mind, that mind, meditative equipoise mind, sees the emptiness of the object that it originally started out analyzing? So if we're looking at
This
the
is the
Boomba,
emptiness of the object. Yeah,
so
okay.
we're looking at the Boomba. Then that Boomba disappears, then we see the emptiness of the Boomba. And then, so that at that point, does that exist inherently for that meditative equipoise mind? I would say yes, until he puts that as the object of negation, and then that one doesn't exist.
It's
They
the
kind of
Then it's the
there,
emptiness of the
When a bomba
emptiness.
double chashana,
emptiness of the emptiness.
Tambo
There.
cheba chegoras. Ranjigi drumadu cheni the cheba chegoris. Cheba di ane cause the mazibares. Then di migu chene ane the ngonzu to togoras. Jeza ane now I missed the last bit.
So then when it makes the emptiness,
Oh, then you were
of
saying
the,
that
then it makes
Or
the
did
object
I
of
the tongue
negation.
the code Tony talk to us? That did I Tony did Tanda the crying or I've been actually doing or Ranjiki Duberes.
No, no.
Then the Tony Coranda Ranjiki Dubye me Tajiche. Then it did you did the teacher.
No, that's the process.
Ranjiki Duberes.
That's the process.
So you're saying that that emptiness would be inherently existent for that wisdom and meditative equipoise of the
For a
Arya.
time until he puts that under the
실제로 카나다 내가 그러니까 그 the ranjiki to your rest.
야, 대박이네.
And then later it would become not.
Yeah.
She's the ranjiki never the chagi rest.
It's like being temporarily permanent all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my mind, I think that emptiness is not a conventional phenomenon. It's an ultimate phenomenon. So it wouldn't be. So when he sees emptiness, it wouldn't be inherent existent anyway because it's not conventional.
Most of like the kaka rest and those cars na. Tony the trabuji shashana. Go the kunzo bicha marwa. Dendam bicha rest. The kunzo bicha dunzo gesi ani pabe nyamjigi the ngorgyona. Ani dendu chagi rest. The Tony the dendam bicha insan ding or yunayang dendu chagi mares.
근데 동이 덴바 주마도 지역에 리싱을 동이 야르베스나.
So, does emptiness exist for the rational analysis, which is analyzing whether it, in other words, that emptiness itself, exists by nature or not?
No.
No.
Ding or ness.
나 다동이 덴바 주마도 지역에 대바디 뭐로 동이 야 말봐. 동이 대매디야 봐.
So that's right. For the rational analysis that's verifying or analyzing whether emptiness itself exists by nature or not, emptiness doesn't exist. What does exist for it, what it does find is the emptiness or the non-true existence of emptiness, right?
Which would be the
다
same.
단대티 렌주고 대티 인베서를 지르바다. 그 던덤 주지기 봐. 냠샤이시디 던덤 유진을 봐. 동이 예죠. 근데 배추디 딩어 연에 덴바트 그거 사지. 다 동이 덴바트만 주제베리 바디 몰라 동이 야르베스나. 메스거라.
Okay, it does seem like we're going in the right direction, that there's this distinction between the conventional phenomena and ultimate phenomena. So the thing is now, does emptiness exist for the rational analysis analyzing whether emptiness exists by nature or not? Does it exist for that mind?
Yes.
Being or yes.
예스네다 동반이디 저두지베리 베제 스버베스.
If you're going to say it does exist for that mind, then you're going to have to say that it can withstand analysis, the rational analysis, ultimate analysis, aren't you?
So it can.
Yeah,
No.
we're gonna have to say that, but we
It's
know
not
that's
true.
not true.
Didn't London love what you got is you need to demon the how do us.
What if we come about it from a different angle? Didn't Ricochet say last time that, like, if the emptiness of the vase didn't exist, then the vase would truly exist? So does it somehow have to do with that?
The penalty sound on this mindachi dana that being what the thing machila and it been a bumbe thingy tony di mena bumba dend of chagi this.
그래.
There's someone done the thing yes.
배팅기 아니
Tony di mena.
동이 되면은 bomba티로
Didn't
쳐봐.
chagi.
아니
So how would it help? How do you think it would help to think
I
about
can't
that?
quite put it together, but it seems like it would.
Is several of them you need to
아니 예설이.
think yes it is some good.
Steve, is this like a koan? Is Ricochet asking us a koan? There's no answer to. I mean,
Do you think Rinpoche is trained in Zen?
It feels like it's a koan because there's just no
Yeah, but
answer that's.
okay, you're gonna have to explain what a koan is so I can explain what a koan is. And then-
So that is no, we're trying to grasp at certain answers, like either this, yes it is, or no it isn't existing for that meditative equipoise mind. Yes, the mind, yes, emptiness does exist inherently, or no, it doesn't exist. So it seems like we've gone on to both extremes now with our answers here. So is it like that we're just not going to get to an answer here, and we just have to meditate on it to get to it ourselves? At some
Most of the teaching that le maybe to in the sangido. Kazna yin lamne kyun leg do us. Mayin lamne kyun leg do us. Chesan le mendus lenga
내 배부터 내이 버봐. 내 배부터 내이 버봐. 그래.
So actually your answer is there's no answer, right?
That can't be.
I think there is an answer, but we just don't have it yet, unless Rinpoche is going to tell us.
You're asking though, is maybe this is a question that doesn't have an answer.
I'm asking if this is a question that we have to meditate on, and that may not be a conceptual answer.
Well, of course.
근데 저두집에 이식이 테스트를 치면서 봐.
So the thing is, we say that there's no phenomenon which can be found through an ultimate analysis.
이제 동반이디 덴바투마도 제베 탈라 동반이디 되기야 말이. 동반이디 덴바투도 만두 제베 탈라 많이 베르바. 덴바투가 nye sune temba chuba nye gure, wanan temba mebe nye guru. Temba nye temba chuba tu cheba ti china, ani che suna temba tu tendu yin guru ba. Che suna ti yamar ba. Che suna temba nye ti temba chuba tu chuba che tala. Che mesu su guru ba. Che mesu be tuenti di manyi bara cheba yin ba. Che suna 제가 제스는 지금 되는 리포트 nye 많이 나 제빈 받더니 제가 돈이 담바두마도 제베 타라 돈이 많이 시죠 돈이 땡기 돈이 땡이 봐이 시라 제가 돈이 담바두마도 주베리 시고 메스 돈이 담바두마도 주베리 시기 돈이 도스 돈이 땡기 돈이 도 봐이사 돈이 코나 띵고 메스 제르바
The thing is, we would say that when you engage in an ultimate analysis into whether into emptiness, in other words, analyzing whether emptiness is truly existent or not, then you wouldn't find emptiness. And so in this context, find or not find is a question of whether is equivalent, can or cannot withstand analysis. So emptiness cannot withstand an ultimate analysis. And so that means emptiness isn't found by an ultimate analysis. However, that ultimate analysis does find emptiness. The emptiness it finds is the emptiness of emptiness, right?
That is the Kurtuni Dojan. Tuni could Mados Sabuya. That is Tuni the Maduma Jebe Shadala Tuni Emba Mebatobe Lotigi Tuni think Tuni Dos. The Tinde Lotig Tuni to Tuni the Loting more me. What is Siguri? That is. This is the Tuni to Beloina, random all Tuni Yukura. Tuni the thing of mess. That is symptom chiri.
Ale, Pavniamjiki mor Tony yes.
That is
Tony the deep thing or mess.
the Papa Yamsha is to meet the Yari.
You're right.
Paganisha is more to me, Tumbani de Pabanamsha is more years. That Tuni Tembatuma to Jewelry, but the Tuni Demet to be loading more, Tuni Demi loading more. Tuni the loading could Jeshi Dirva, Jeshi to Tunirva. Javetania the Tuni Demba Meva Dirva. Jeshi could Dembatuma to Jay into Nina that they do. They do not. Dembatuma to Jeb Jetal could need to not put them by it. Konya Mavaja couldn't it. Demba Mavating ever.
The ding or Tony mess. Tony ding or yes.
Don't need the ding on me.
Oh.
Ding all to me. Don't need them at the Yarba.
Ding or Tony ye.
Nori. Don't need the ding, my niece Yarba.
Ding or Tony yes. Tony ding or mess. So this is another one that those where we have to be, be very, very precise in order to be consistent. So in terms of that ultimate analysis, you'd have to say, ding or Tony ye. So emptiness for that. Yeah, so we have to do the one way or the other. So emptiness doesn't exist for that ultimate analysis. But for that ultimate analysis, emptiness exists.
Yeah.
Okay, so emptiness doesn't exist for that ultimate analysis. For that ultimate analysis, emptiness does exist. So it's a way of trying to make sense of the idea that when emptiness is the object that's being analyzed, it can't withstand analysis. So it doesn't exist for that and so on. But still, it does realize emptiness because it realizes the emptiness of emptiness, right?
So you couldn't say that you realize the form of form, so that's the subtle difference. Like if you say it, like you don't find emptiness from an ultimate analysis, but you still realize the emptiness of emptiness. You couldn't say you don't find form from an ultimate analysis, but you still realize the form of form.
Before, Pena di Tony dinde digdo pena Tony matoki Tony kaza Tony manyena yang Tony ki tengi Tony de ni yorwa. Ane 다가나신 zoom mato zoom manyena yang zugi tengi zugdi tosena dimarwa digena.
Sugi tengi susina surava ko kunzobrava.
The thing is no. In the case of form, when you talk about the form of form or the form on form, that itself would be form. It would be a conventional phenomenon. It wouldn't be emptiness. So that's where there's a big difference.
Tati unzu desi adi tanda simjega samlari. Simjega sala tomba nyingo sumdu to indi kunzo bichu tobi amare. Ta sanjegi tomba nyingo tobi lo dan kunzo bichu tamje sige tunyi tobe sanje pabe juji tunyi tobe nyamsha ishiti kunzo temba sige sudala soba che tamje sige tomba nyingo sige das nyamsha se ati susu pabe simjegi gyuji tunyi ngosundu tobe nyamsha ishiti tomba nyingo sige indi jamba ni kunzo bichu sige amare. 다 제도를 야나인데 군도 배치 시인데 동반이 주 무슨 뜻이 두야 말. 다 심지어 동반이 세대 다 상계를 때 냠샤 이식이 주 탐제 시기야.
For a sentient being, in other words, anybody who's not fully enlightened, when they are directly realizing emptiness, then they're not going to be directly realizing conventional phenomena. They can't realize conventional phenomena at that point. And when they're realizing conventional phenomena, they can't realize emptiness at the same time. In the case of an enlightened being, it's different. For an enlightened being, you have the possibility. In fact, one mind would always be able to realize all phenomena, which means conventional phenomena and ultimate phenomena at the same time. So in the case of the wisdom of meditative equipoise of an Arya being who's not an enlightened being, then while they're in the meditative equipoise, they're directly realizing emptiness, non-conventionally realizing emptiness, and not realizing conventional phenomena. Then when they come out of the meditation at the time of the post-meditative equipoise or the aftermath, the realization or experience, they can realize that they will be realizing conventional phenomena, but not the ultimate phenomena, emptiness.
냠샤 이시디시 제대로 그 담바 제베 탈라 시수나 그 제베 정말 같다 제베스 제베 조차르 봐 제대로 시수나다니 템버 두고야 봐 얘네 냠샤 디시 단다 파베 냠샤 이시디 노베 이시 냠샤 이시디기 동반이트 돈이 tobe karesu gure undobe kyangala soba siusone jedar siglu
Kan lobe
야, 로베냠 샤이시기.
or Nyamshakno.
동반이 수자로 소버티서 식소나 제대로 시구비야래. 이 시주야 말이.
Ni de Milobe the Sangi Gavla and Cheta Mazik,
식
Chetar Zik,
제대로 마시장. 냠샤이시디 시기래.
Sigira.
추참제 시기.
So now, in the case of a Buddha, Chetar Zik, Chetar Mazik, Chetar Mazik.
제대로 마시장.
So even though they don't see the even though the Buddha doesn't see conventional phenomena at the end of at the conclusion of analysis, still we would say that Ziba. Nevertheless, their wisdom of meditative equipoise, in other words, their mind non-perceptually rising emitters, would also see, in other words, realize those conventional phenomena. See, for the Buddhas, it would be the same as for us in the sense that if they see them at the end of an analysis, at the conclusion of an analysis, then that would mean that they would be truly existent. Now, okay, so we read on a bit. Where are we? Which page were we on? I think I've lost it.
58.
158, okay. Yes, okay, so in fact it's good that they're actually delineated. I like the Tibetan with the numbers. So we've got 3 pairs of things that need to be distinguished. So anyway, top of page 158, therefore even some earlier scholars, not to mention those today, so it's not just sentient beings now that make this mistake or can't make this kind of distinction. Also earlier scholars were unable to make these distinctions. So they seem to have erred by not differentiating and instead considering identical the following pairs: something unable to withstand rational analysis versus being invalidated by reason. Actually, it's a bit closer than that. The thing is, being able to withstand the rational analysis versus being harmed by rational analysis. Those are the 2 things that are being, compared and contrasted. Then the second one is the wisdom of meditative equipoise of an Arya not seeing versus seeing as non-existent. Seeing as non-existent. Those two pairs. Sorry, that pair. Then the third pair is not being found by the rational analysis and being found as non-existent by the rational analysis. Those three pairs. So these, not only people these days, but also past scholars, had difficulties distinguishing between these three pairs.
Dana Koni Dundambe Eugene Temale Tiny Bay Shivanum Dobchua Tang Tiny Bay Shiva Dundambe Eugene Temala Never Deba Meno Study Dana Koni Dundambe Eugene Temale Tiny Bay Tema Dobchua Study Kaji Sigarita. 안에 단위 된다면 유진기 참말이 단위의 참아 단위의 시반은 또 치워야 되와 시기에 같이 가르쳐서는 된다면 유진기 타도 주베 이 시기 많이나 매번 좋다는 누가 단위의 참에 있는 여러 좋다고 누가 같이 아니 된담배 참말에 단입에 참아 또 치워야 임바타 네 된담배 단입에 된담배 유진기 많이는 매번 좋습니다. 그러면 단입에 참에 유여가 좋은 이해가 좋은 이 단입에 참에 뭐 이해나 이해가 좋습니다. 네 된담배 참에 매번 그래서 많이는 매번 좋습니다. 자산 된담배 유지기 참말에 단입의 참도 또 치워 인가 타스 가지게 수시게 라루라 된담배 유지기 참말에 단입의 참도 치워 또 치워 또 치워 이 말이스 개발친 말이스 단입의 체 된담배 참말에 단입의 참도 치워리 이 말이스 단입의 시에 된담배 유지기 참말을 넣어봐야 면주 단입의 참에 된담배 유진 넣어봐야 면주 같이 단입의 참막의 이유가 더 숨어서 수저를 수거든. 그래도 된담배 참말을 넣어봐야 받았어. 된담배의 참막의 수저를 수거 니에마 숨어서 단입의 참막의 수저를 수거 이유가 되고도가 시켜는지나 이제는 다 단입의 참막이 된담배 참말을 넣어버리겠으니 이게 두 말이지. 시여바란룰 같이 그런데서는 다 된담배 참막이 단입을 수저를 수거 많이 봐인사를 다 매번이 그것도 생각. 네 단입의 참에 수저를 수거 때가 니 시주선 받다는 단입의 참막이 된담배 참말을 넣어버리게. 된담배 참막이 니 마수나 매번씩 수마시게. 단입의 참막이 되게 또 수마시. 이 된담배 참막이 되게 단입의 참 수저를 수거 때가 니 단입의 참막이 된담배 참말을 넣어봐야 받아. 어디지? 라루를 띵해봐 두고 말이시게. 그래서 된담배 참말에 단입의 참말 또 치워당. 단입의 참막이 된담배 참말을 넣어봤던 두고 말이시게. 라루를.
제가 군소배디 수저를 니에베 인사는 여바 쪽투기어레스. 때 된담배도 지난주에는 많이 해봐.
매번 좋다면 누가. 근데 지금 더 중요해. 진짜 더 좋아해.
So then let's see, we have to go on. So yeah, it must be the next paragraph down. In saying this, we do not assert that conventional consciousness is more powerful than knowledge of the ultimate. Nor do we assert that conventional consciousness contradicts knowledge of the ultimate. So looking at that passage there, okay, so what this means is that certain scholars, you know, in the Tibetan they call them kachik, so certain scholars would say that a conventional mind is more powerful than an ultimate mind. Why? Because when a conventional analysis finds something, then on that basis you can posit that the thing exists. But with an ultimate analysis, even though it doesn't find the object, you can't posit that it doesn't exist. So therefore, the conventional this person is saying, or these people are saying, that the conventional analysis is more powerful than the ultimate analysis, which is something that, of course, in our system we wouldn't accept. We wouldn't say that it's that the conventional analysis is more powerful than the ultimate analysis for that reason, and also the idea that certain scholars have that somehow the conventional mind undermines the ultimate one, because somehow the conventional the conventional mind actually realizes form, and so, you know, based on that you can know that it exists, whereas the ultimate one doesn't find form, which means it must mean that it doesn't exist. But and yet we say that it, you know, we can't posit that it doesn't exist, even though it can't be found by such an ultimate analysis, because they think can't find means it realizes it doesn't exist from their point of view.
Mekeba mase di parubalia di keban mase dedar goken layang jide tabe neba yindis ni neba di palatana neba di palat karsere de pala menebra pala mekeba mase suso uchenoti mekeba mase suso tani vichuti kik marisje dedarum gogen la jide tabe di keban döna sudelo soba keban döna ni dipa keban dönya dele kare nugres ni jide tabe nugres jide na sula su year da year 2 years jene jide tapala da diye jidemba namna tradi yare ni ti jidemba namji shan nugu desi sudalo soba never doesn't ni jidena ni sula lonche tala lonche tila lonche tachala lonche doyanga lonche wi yarba jasa jidena ti sudalo soba tuse yoba dödi yare 이게 지den바 남기 천안 누구리에스 지den 잡에 누구리에스 체면 누구리에스
Dönabet tabjuji biji tar aninde manyabati komes
mes ke lemba ina sudaso na meba ke lemba ina phala nebati pha tanya di nebati chusu yuri chirana jide tabe nugri jiden bata chirani chuna chiran phangri sigare jiden bedi sudalo sobatusu jiden pe tade ba
so yeah, then it goes on. However, you claim that rational analysis of reality refutes conventional forms, feelings, and so forth when it analyzes them and does not find them. It does not refute them. So this is mainly what we're getting at now. It does not refute them. In fact, mundane knowledge will contradict any attempt to refute conventional phenomena. So what this is saying is that your reasoning that if something is not found at the end of an ultimate analysis, the conclusion of an ultimate analysis, that therefore it doesn't exist, that sort of like rebounds on you, because a person who says that such things don't exist because they're not found by an ultimate analysis would be at odds with the worldly renown, as we say. In other words, for world, in the world, it's accepted that form and so forth do exist, so they are renowned to the world. In the world, we talk about using forms and or enjoying forms and visual forms and sounds and smells and tastes and so on. So they are known to the worldly people. They do exist for them. So if you were to debate with them, then you would lose. They would win, because for them, they do exist. They exist for world renown.
Tati uma jubale. Kati chola jide menuna. Jide nidu dini gabarki. Kati chola jide ki menuna. Ani jide nila doti dini gabar. Rikiri de. Chodan jide dini turkidan. Chodan jide nibu. Chodan. Ni chine topdan dembati. Ni chine topdan demba. Dagi temper chas. Topdan dembatile. Ni tingiris. Takar jidendan kuni ni jidengi di gadi cholan jiden menuna jidengi chamagi jidengi trape menuna ta. Ani jiden la to tingi kapari giri. Gachugri Redi Gadi Chodan Jiden Zugita Chodan Jiden Bani Jabajita Chine Domda Deba Temperature Chine Suda Dodan Denia Tele Temperature is Chodan Jiden Badam Ani Chingi Topdan Dena Zuba Jigina Jitin by Gagris. Topdan Dembati Jitin by the top Dingiris. Ni Chinitum de Dagi Tembacha. Topdan the Khan, Topdan Dembatili Dagi Umape Tembari. Umape Thank you, Be Tawati. Jiden the Tatu the Tumbachin Shavierva. Oh, Jason Jitin the Tabala Tunisha Gear. Jason Tadu Jiden Trabal Tuni Shaba Yansan, any Jiden Trabal Karasan, just Sugi. Any now at the Shivala Subatusu, Jiden Trabal Tuni Shavierva. Jiden Trabal Tia, now I had Shiva Yarva Trapaya. That in Mera and Jiden Trabati Nugudes. Just Kanje di Chine Tumde Dagi Tembacha, Kahan Top than Dembatele, Dagi Tingi Instituta Chan, Jiten Mena, and Jiten da Chini Zeta. Chine Sut of than Dembatele, Tingiris. Jidon Jiten Uma Petawadi, Jiten Tabu the Tunishabra. Jiten Tabu the Tunishabra Yasane. Ni. Irva. Ani what did it? Jiden Trapal, Tunishaba in Santa. Top than Dembati, Jiden Trapati. Jiden Trapu going to Jenishavir. suta tsuala suati. Tani karasube. Tanya betsemeto chishagera. Tanya betsemase. Nudute yuba jitela yube tsetela Tanya betsemala trashi. Tanya betsemashin mineva. Dondom jujigi tsimeka mineva. Chabasunda de bajili shagiba. Yebe tseti. Tanya di. Tanya betsemala trabas. Odi yinsadati kanjeti. Tati Uma Jubegas, Tisunduga, Kati Church and Jite Menana, Kati Church and Jite Menana, Jite Dini, Jite need to Dini Gabaki, Menana, and Jite the Dirty, Dini Gabari, Kitty, Sutulu Sobat and Gadi Giddy, Kati Church and Jite Dini, Surgitans, Church and Jite Bani. 这个鸡当时也是最是当时这现在冬天大概点不着，现在冬天看冬天点不的大概点不着，学生你这个样课家的几点给工作边都不着的吃了，现在吃了，你不就是给这几点给工作solution，家的去了几点给。Never me do not near killer. Don't double chose. Kadi killer jidengi, never me do not near killer. Don't double city. Temperature beings, George beings, don't double damage. Jidengi Gini Nubayang Jide Gini Nubang Indi Shesum Bicheres Tadi Tadi Chini Tunda Tempa Jal Seti Di Debatilla Umajube Debatilla Tati
So then there is this verse from the Madhyamakavatara. If you think that the world does not contradict you, then refute something that is based right in the world. You and the world can argue about it, and afterwards I will follow the stronger party. So Chandrakirti is saying, whichever of you is the more powerful, that's the one I will follow. So in other words, he's saying, you worldly people, and you should debate with the worldly people. Whichever is the more powerful, whichever wins, that's the one I shall follow. And of course, Chandrakirti believes that the worldly people will be more powerful and will win, because we know that in the middle way system, there is this idea of conforming to the worldly renown. So what that means is that in worldly renown, form and so forth do exist. There is illness, there is death, and so on. These things do exist. So for the world, these things do exist, and that means that they exist to the renown of the world, the worldly people, the world. If we think about the three criteria for judging whether something exists or not, one is that it should be known to the so yeah, it should be known to a conventional valid mind. Then secondly, it can't be harmed by a conventional valid mind. And then thirdly, it can't be harmed by an ultimate mind. If it fulfills all three of those criteria, then you can say that exists. And then, so, you know, something does have to be, you know, known to the world. It has to be, you know, like known to worldly renown, is the expression is used, is one that's used. So then you have Chandrakirti's own explanation of that. It says the auto commentary. So that's Chandrakirti's commentary. We have endured great hardship in order to overturn worldly conventionalities. Please, you eliminate worldly conventionalities. If the world does not contradict you, then we will join you. However, the world does contradict you.
That is true, so sometimes I get true, got the true, Chomadi, so sometimes I shoot to Chelen Barba. In a rising manner, Mercury, Sudala Subatusu, Mercury singing. So that's sometimes by any church. She did in the church, say, the Gati Kundu Gobabu, sometimes by Chula, she didn't get Trabe, Menuna. Chiji didn't need time, tiny Trabala Tene Kundu Batini, Gabariki, Menuna Gabariki. They are Tomar Kurd and Jidebani Kundu Yumi, Gabji, Jobaki, Joba Jebe, Chine, Khan, gave it Dota, Temba Sela Dagi, Jesu Krami, Temba Jabu, study indeed. So the same Zambache.
Temba Javas.
I did the direct, near the devotion that is the year.
I know.
Tajik Dagare. Can it do the Dagi Temba Chelsea? Oh, Majubi. Same Zamba, so Chunga same Zambache.
Okay, so in this passage, it says, we have endured great hardships and overturned world conventions. Please, you eliminate. So this you that's being referred to mainly would be the Chittamatras, because they're the ones that say that phenomena exist naturally, and that if something doesn't exist naturally, then it doesn't exist at all.
Yeah, that is Shashan.
So I think we can do it. Yeah, so we'll stop there, and you know, if you have a question, then go ahead and ask.
Yeah.
So I hope I can even form this question correctly.
If you can't, then I won't bother, right? I just won't bother, right?
So I'm reading on the top of page 142 in Geshe Soba's text, and they're talking about this certain group of people who Chapa Choki Senge, who
Chapachaki Singh.
yeah.
Kensabalagiti. Chabatula.
Chabachi singitigi, Aniti Ranshing Mena, Karasare, Ranshing Mena, Yani Chabachi singitita, Kale Sumia, Chabachi singit, Ni Kare Tine Karasuri. Mola Zawaje.
Moloswa.
Mola Zawaje. Ani that's to me a chigi Chabachi Sengidi or Susora Shingituba. Tuni didn't look to kill me.
Surzabat Ranjituba.
No, Tuni and Shingituba, yes. Dakares in a Chabachi Singita. Nyati, 수고라시 좀 나도 디스나 아니 수 엠바메버디 다시메버디 이게 알바 다시메버니 인다 다시메버디 엠바도 샤시 소소라서부터 엠바레 미도스 되지 디디리
Zukran and Dendruma. Zukran Dendrum Main.
수프라 엠바도 마리스
Dendrumas.
다파 문에 그 다도 집에 시기제 이제 좀 많이야 됐다 수라 심에 띵게 버와 다티 템바레스 진짜 시기 두거리스 와다티 두냐지 잡아주지 생기게 지돼야 지지래
No. So well, this Chabachugi. So there were three of them actually. I can't remember all three of them, but one of them is Chabachugi. One was Ngol Lotsawa. So Chabachugi, what he said was, form exists by nature. So if you analyze to see whether form exists by nature or not, then what you would find is that it exists by nature. You would find a naturally existing form. That's truly existent. Form itself is not truly existent. That's one of his assertions.
다티 그래서는 잡아주지 생기게 돈이 된바 좀 샤스 돈이 된바 좀 버리셔스 다 가지 제제 이제 좀 타네 동반이 진이게 알아 동반이 진이게 유산다 된바 좀 버리셔스 직제
So one of his assertions is that emptiness is truly existent, because the thing is that at the end of an analysis, you find emptiness. So emptiness is truly existent.
다지게 이제 아니 너 그래서 그래 로자와 저인지 상부르지 로자와 잡아주지 생기게 더도 주베리 시기 니에드네 그래서 그래 디 리시기 니에스 동반이들 리시기 니에버리 더도 주베리 리시기 많이 버리스 다 도베리 더도 주베리 리시기 니에드 마이스 디네 템바투 버리스 타니베 치메 니에스 다티
Isso é muito bom.
알리고 좀 베스트 되네. 그래서 더 단지 단지 그 가르 템바투베 있는 지동이 템바투베 라면디스 사파스 잡아주지 소야디 라비 있어봐
No.
어디 네. 뭔지 개발 가래를 주바 나에서 지도가 단지
Dinala, because they run dinala.
네, 라도 지면알.
Oh,
뭔지 개발 가래를 주바
oh, did you?
주바 견나에 로드다 템바다기 쉽도 줘봐 대다 제발 기시세 두가
Lay.
다디 미기 개발도 수세 내기 개발 가리를 주바 예 나와 시베 문득이 개발 뭘로 전부 리베 제수기 대두 때문에 리시기 중이 주바 양 메테도 냠도 오네 전담 템바 시자 많이 받던 스타디 뭘로 잡아게 전담 템바 시자 말이스 말이죠 전담 템바 시자 말이스 그래서는 리베 제수기 취매스라 버려 저 리베 제 리베 제수기 된도 때는 매베 리베 제수비 취매스라 버려 이에서는 뭘로 했다 전담 템바티 전담 템바 야 말이스 얘나다 리베 제수기 취취요 야데 동반이디 아니 디르 리베 제수기 취딩 때는 매베 리시기 중요 주바양 밑에도 리시기 중요 주바 팀 말이스 대고네 전담 템바 시자 많이 있어지 다디 지제 무슨 거다 차바 취지 취지 생기 충이 리시기 도친 리시기 제수의 열매도 냠도 삼네 돈이 템바트반데스 다 차바 취지 생기 돈이 템바트반인지 리베 제수 다도 집에 리시기 타는 게 버려 네 리베 제수 비추리스 템바트 비추리스 다 템바트 비추리스 다 두lumba 침보 두lumba 세야디 데리 침마 여봐 두lum바 데리 침모 세야디 두lum바 침데 데버리 디 전담 집에 로지부디 도체 치디 전담 집에 로지부디는 도체 니치 리히스 소에 유디 야마리스 제바도 소에 유디 전담 집에 로디를 차니치 리히스 소에 차지 제바도 소에 차지 리시 제바세 여봐
리시 제바
리시 제바들 리시기 차지 제바기 차지 리시기니데 참메스 제바기 사만도 제바기 예스 리시 제바세야 딜 차니치 다 두는데 나 두는데 친구들이 전동 집에 로지부들은 도체 체디 리시도 손에 유메 리시기 유메는 템바트부터 리시기 녀버 샤고게 봐 디샤스는 템바트 팅면도 스타디데 리시기도 요고 팅면도 제버리 제바도 손에 유여버 셰베 추바 나도바 주에 주일레버 레시인부터 동주 침몰을 너는 셰버 잡고 다단지데 이게 개발 가래라 세야디 개발될 숨
몰라서
로자와지 잡아주지 신기지 두lum바 침보스지 숨지 로자와 침보기 동이 시점이 봐도 잡아주지 생기기 동이 템바도 봐 두lum바 침보기 리시라 리시지 타니집에 타두집에 로딜라 도체니치 리시 수의 유디야 말이야 제박이 수의 유야리스지
Ale Rijibega zeti de Taiji Sevensi.
Rishi Jabadil Dobani, Rishi Sina, Tadu Rishi Saj. Rishi Tadu Rishi Nibetemes, the Riches matches Messilva, Rishi Gichane, Nibetum Marche, you may put Javadba, Javalet Dingy. Jabat to my use. That the needs of a tune.
Chinese.
Don't need to.
So in this, just before here, it mentioned about earlier scholars. Yeah. Okay, so top of page 158. Therefore, even some earlier scholars. We have, this refers to three previous scholars, earlier scholars. You've got the Ngolotsa, the translator, Ngolotsa. So, he says that ultimate truth is not unknowable. He says it doesn't, he says it's not unknowable because there is no phenomenon that can withstand analysis, the ultimate analysis. So he says if it did exist, then it would mean that there's a phenomenon which can withstand analysis. So he says it doesn't exist, ultimate truth doesn't exist. Then the assertion of Chapa Chugisengdi is that emptiness is truly existent. He says that it's truly existent because it is found, by ultimate analysis. The ultimate analysis realizes the emptiness, doesn't it? So for him, therefore, it would be it is found. Therefore, it's truly existent. Then Drolungpa. He's the one who composed this very large text called the Denim Chemos. So anyway, the great exposition of the stages of the teachings. Denim. So he said you have to sort of consider two parts for the inferential. So let's say rational inference. Rational inference. So for the rational part of it, that we're talking about the ultimate analysis, and ultimate rational analysis, and so for that the object doesn't exist. If it did exist, then it would mean that it's found, but actually, it's not found. So for that, it doesn't exist. For the inference side of that. So this is, we're talking about a mind that realizes an object depending upon logical signs and reasons. So for that, the object does exist. So we'll stop there, right? Guru Rana Mandala
Chanju Simjo Rinpoche,
Magepa Nangi Gyuji, Geba Nyamba Meba, Kone Kondru Baba,
Dunyi Tawa
Rimboje,